What's up, everyone? Tyler Brown here with FutureDDS.
Terrell Friday here with FutureDDS. And today, we're actually going to respond to some of the questions and the topics that you guys have provided to us. We always ask for viewer feedback, so we thought it was only right. Let's go.
So if this is your first time at our channel, what me and Terrell do is basically show you all our dental school experience as well as give tips and tricks on how to get into dental school. If you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as well as hit that little bell on the notification bar somewhere down there to make sure that when we do post, you all get the alerts sent to your email and you can check the video out. So as Terrell said earlier, we're extremely humbled that you all have actually reached out to us and you're always asking us questions, and we're here to help, and therefore today we want to make sure that we can answer as many questions as we can in our first Q&A session.
Throughout all of the questions, we actually got this recurring theme of just telling our story through undergrad and how we actually got into dental school, and just want to hear more about that. So we're going to go through, tell you guys a little bit more about our journey through undergrad, how it kind of involves dentistry, as well as, you know, stepping off to give you specific responses to specific questions that other people ask. Myself, I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. I went to undergrad at Morehouse College. When I got there, I had no clue I wanted to be involved with dentistry whatsoever. Something I kind of picked up along the way, but it's just weird how the opportunities of, you know, getting a scholarship to go off to college and things like that kind of sculpt your story and kind of develop where you are right now. And I think Tyler can kind of attest to that too, you know.
No, definitely. I'm originally from Atlanta, Georgia. I went to Howard University in Washington, D.C. Being in Washington, D.C., I know people who are from the north think that D.C. is southern, but no, not to me. That was my first, you know, taste of the northern life. And it was just so different, but it was crazy. It was a lot of fun. You know, just experience different culture, you know, go-go music, carry out. Like, we didn't have those in Atlanta. So a lot of things were different, but I mean, I definitely grew as a person.
The same way it flipped for him, it kind of flipped for me, because, you know, heading down to Georgia, fresh out of high school, like, you don't know too much. So that whole change of culture and change of scenery is like, it flips your whole world, so to speak, and you know, you gotta kind of grow up quick. But it's a good experience, man. I had a lot of fun. And I wouldn't change that decision for anything, really. So
coming into college, I had no idea I wanted to be a dentist. You know, I was taking bio, and I mean, everybody in my class kept talking about this SMDEP program, where you like choose 3 sites and hopefully you get selected for one of them. I got selected to go to the UCLA site, and so I spent a summer in California, which was awesome. And that was my first exposure to dentistry. And so once I was there, or I came back to DC, I was like, you know, let me really focus in and hone in on these science skills and make sure that I could be, you know, a qualified applicant when that time came about. So then the following summer, I actually went to Texas A&M. They had a program called like SPEP or SPEP 2. And so I went there, and basically, you know, we were doing a lot of like simulated dental classes and like having a lot of DAT prep. So that really got me geared up. And so that's really what really settled me into the whole path of, hey, like I'm about to be a dentist. This is what I gotta do. This is what I'm gonna do. Great, like, let's go.
As I started Morehouse, I didn't know anything about dentistry. I had no clue that I wanted to be involved with dentistry at all. Didn't want to be a dentist, any of that. So I actually started as an engineering major, thinking I wanted to do architecture. But soon switched. I decided to go into psychology because I knew I could use that in any field that I wanted to go into. Business, you know, medicine, anything. I knew I had to know how people operated, and I could use that, and I could translate, those skills could translate to multiple fields. So I settled on psychology, and actually ended up meeting a dental school advisor while I was at Morehouse that got me on the path of dentistry. She kind of helped me see the path from where I was to where I needed to be with school, DAT prep, all that along the lines of academic, you know, what I'm going to need to do from now until the time I apply. So that's really how I got involved and did some research, and I just kind of fell in love with the field. A lot of viewers hit us up asking, how do I know if I'm ready to apply? So 2 big things are going to be your GPA and your DAT score. Definitely you want to have those in a competitive range nationally, but I would hit up the school individually that you want to apply to, that you know you're interested in, and see exactly what their scores are, what the competitive range is for, you know, people with your skill set or with your resume.
A lot of times they'll be really honest with you.
Yeah, actually.
Like if you're really like below, and they'll say you're not competitive, we need to see a higher score in this or this. Like, they'll tell you. So
Yep,
Straight off the bat.
they'll tell you exactly what classes you need, what extracurriculars you need, and stuff like that. So definitely reach out and take ownership of the process. And you know, that's exactly how you'll know if it's time for you to you know, put that money up and really front the money, because it's an expensive process.
So college had come to an end, and I still had taken my DAT, but I did definitely know I wanted to go to dental school. But I definitely needed to buy myself a little bit of time. So I started to apply to all these different jobs, and luckily I got a job at Oral Health America, which is an amazing nonprofit. You all should all go check them out at oralhealthamerica.org.
Plug.
It was a great nonprofit. You know, they focused on a lot of school-based programs and geriatric dentistry, so you all should definitely go check it out. But anyway, while I was there, I was able to talk to a lot of different dentists and dental students, and they gave me the idea to actually apply to a master's program just to make my application, you know, a little bit more competitive. So I found a great year program, and I said, you know what, let me go ahead and do this and knock it out.
After I finished school, I hadn't taken my DAT either, and I was kind of lost, didn't really know what to do, where I was going. And my advisor actually wanted me to go a different route and stay in school and just take some more prerequisite courses, which I didn't really want to do at the time. You know, I wanted to just graduate, get done with that, and if anything, I would go back and do a master's or a post-bac. So that's actually what I did. I took a year, I studied for the DAT, started working for Delta, and was able to fly around, see a couple of new cities and see a couple countries, which is dope, you know, just having the experience of seeing the world and taking advantage of your downtime, if you can, you know. I was, like I said, I was blessed with that opportunity, but again, I didn't get in the first time I applied. I ended up taking the DAT, did decent on it, and I applied to school thinking, you know, I mean, I felt confident, I felt really good, I felt like I was able to do the work, I was prepared to do it, but you know, schools and admissions departments didn't necessarily think the same, and you know, I can't disagree now looking back on it. Probably wasn't necessarily the most competitive applicant, but I knew that it was something I had to work on, something I had to go back to the drawing board on, put a plan together and execute. And that's what I did, man. I didn't get in there, but I ended up getting into a master's program at Barry University. That was actually one of the blessings in disguise that I had through my journey. But you know, like I said, the masters at Barry has definitely been influential. We actually made a video on it, why it's important.
A lot of our viewers ask us the question, how do I go about choosing a master's program? Now, this question is very, very subjective, because honestly, one program might be right for you, one program might not be right for you. Yeah. But that's where you really have to do your due diligence and really do your research. All depending on the cost of the program. Is a program primarily focused on getting dentists into dental, or pre-dental students into dental school? Or is it more of a med program? Where is it located? You know, different things like that really will affect your decision. But I mean, as far as, for me at least, it was a great decision to go to a master's program. Being in Miami, yeah. You know, being able to be exposed to different classes, you know, meeting Terrell, everything was cool, and you know, it's really enabled us to be able to do different things as far as, like, you know, extracurriculars, making this channel for you all, and still, you know, keep up with our studies. So I think it was definitely worth it. So we completed our master's program, and thankfully we are here today in dental school. While we were applying and doing all these different things, you know, we both agreed that we didn't have that many resources, and that's why we're here today, to help you all basically get into school and kind of see what it's like, you know, because we wish we had something like this while we were applying and getting ready for everything. As well as other dentists or student dentists at different schools, just kind of show you all our experience, and we definitely look forward for you all to reach out to us and definitely share your experiences with us as well. So
one of the biggest take homes that I can say from both of our journey is, as you know, being able to reach back and help somebody else out. We didn't have too many people to help us, but we definitely had some people out there that reached back and definitely went out of their ways to help us. So we want to do the same. Definitely just instill, like, never giving up on yourself, and being determined and being confident in your abilities, no matter what your situation is or where your starting point is. Know that if you want to do it, just take care of business and knock it out, and that's really it.
All right, so we know this is a very long video, but we do want to answer some of these other questions really quickly. So we're gonna give like a
quick fire round
for you all, just answering some of you all's questions in like 20 seconds or less. All right. First question: how did you all prep for the DAT? I'll go first. I did a lot that I didn't need to do. I basically went through the Kaplan book. I did everything, but my main source that helped me the most was probably DAT Short.
Kaplan course, that was okay. A lot of strategies. I did a lot of practice questions, just like doing a whole bunch of practice tests, practice problems. So I'd say that drill questions, DAT destroyer, PAT destroyer, you'll be good.
So the next question, how are you all paying for dental school?
How am I wish I could tell you how I'm paying for dental school. Like literally right now, I'm just trying to deal with school, get through it. But good thing is, all the dentists I talk to afterwards say, don't worry about it, you'll be good. Just take care of business now. Everything will work itself out in the end. You just put together a plan and knock it out that way.
Yep, same thing, loans. We will have another video on this later on, but yeah, I just don't look at the amount because you kind of psych yourself out about it, and it's hard to sleep once you think about how much money, how much you're in the red. But you know, it's definitely worth it though. It's definitely worth it.
It is worth it.
All right, so the next question, what does you all's schedule look like? Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, this semester our schedule's our schedule's always kind of variable. We start at 9 o'clock, about 9 o'clock, end around 4:30. We have labs pretty much all day. Like those are mandatory classes you need to go to or should go to. First semester we had anatomy lab. This semester we have operative lab. That's our main lab. But it's only 2 days a week this week, so get kind of lucky. Last semester it was like every day. I think it was every day we had it.
Anatomy or operative, yeah.
Yeah, but anatomy. All right, so anatomy would be like from 9 to 1, and we have class from 9 to 11, and then lab from 11 to 1, and then operative lab after that. So you know,
it was a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah.
All right, next question. With so much time in classes, do you all feel prepared enough to actually work on a patient?
I mean, not yet. I mean, we're not really certified to work on patients yet. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say qualified to work on a patient, no, but getting a lot more comfortable every day, and that comes with having a lot of lab time, operative lab, SimClim, extra help sessions, stuff like that.
I'm ready right now. Next question. Do you all have any study tips for incoming D1 students? Honestly, repetition, see the information as much as possible. I've actually started like a little chart about how many times I see each lecture because that's definitely the variable on how well I do on a test. Basically, how many times I've seen the lecture. So just repetition.
Yeah, I'd say repetition, of course, watching the lecture. Our lectures are lecture captured, so just watching the lecture over and over again. I learn pretty well from hearing, so I listen and look at the slides at the same time, and that kind of helps me. And just talking through things, talking through and walking, that helps me too.
So next question. Is your school a pass-fail? For some courses, yes. For some courses, no. Anatomy, we get a letter grade. But for introduction to the dental patient, it was pass-fail. And a lot of people think this is an easy, like, little scapegoat to not care about the class as much, but no, because you can still fail a pass-fail course.
Very easily.
So you never want to get yourself in that rut because it's rough.
Yeah, it's definitely rough.
All right, y'all, so that's our video for the week. Thank you all so much again for tuning in.
Make sure you guys comment below. Of course, hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you get notified whenever we post up new videos. Also, don't forget to head over to Instagram, follow us there, and you can send us in the DMs if you have any personal questions or any other questions that you would like to ask us. DM us and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Yep.
All right, so it's gonna wrap it up, man. See y'all next week.
Thank you.